Okay. Maybe some
Okay.
Phara at first.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with Phara then. Okay, so you're around, you said kind of high plat level, low diamond?
Yep.
280, 200. Okay. So, okay, I guess the first thing to start with Phara is, do you know how to fly infinitely without touching the ground?
I guess. With a rocket jump?
Yeah, no, actually no, not with rocket jump. Rocket jump is fine, I guess, if you have a mercy attached to you. But actually, there's a way to go from the ground and actually gain height consistently rather than losing it.
With
It
your
requires a lot of
E and
focus, but
shift?
actually, not even with E. Shift, of course, yes, but not your E. So where are you? Okay. So the main thing with Farah, right, is there's this kind of movement to her, and the way that you get the most out of her normal space jump jets, right, is by
Mm-hmm.
bopping. So I'll start from a bit of a higher place to show you, but so instead of using all your jetpacks up like this and like really high amounts of usage, you'll fall down pretty quick and then you end up sputtering down. But if what you really want to be going for, and hopefully this makes sense, is kind of more of a bouncing motion. So like this. Really gently up and down, up and down, up and down. Now the advantage of that is that you can actually fly for a very long time. This is just using one like bar of fuel, and I've gone all the way there without even using my shift or anything. The advantage of that is obviously you can fly a lot longer, a lot further. The disadvantage is you have to keep in mind how your movement patterns are. So if you're playing against a Widow or a McCree, any like Widow or McCree worth a shot can hit this pretty easily because you're a very clear target. So then, yeah, you want to start mixing in some left shifts and kind of doing big pushes up, and then, yeah, kind of mixing it around. But the main thing to practice is this kind of like slow, bopping movement. And then you only use, and this is important, you only use your left shift when your fuel your fuel gauge reaches the little red indicator. So yeah, if you use your jump jets now, you see that red indicator, the red 0 with the line. What that actually indicates is if you use left shift when you're at that red bar, you'll refill your fuel gauge entirely. I keep saying gar because I'm trying to make gauge and bar, but yeah. So that's a good indicator for when to use your left shift, when it's around this level. And you can see with this careful bopping, I'm able to get my left shift back in time.
But they can kill you easily, yeah.
Much easier, yeah. If they don't have like anything long range hit scan, this is fine because you're still a fairly difficult target to hit because you're in the sky. You can see I'm gaining altitude. I'm not touching the ground at all, quite easily. I'm going up. So I want you to try practicing that from the very ground without using your left shift. Just space bar up. Practice bottom movement, and then only left shift when you must. Like now. Let it fill up, and then start bopping again. There you go. That's it. And then you'll see you'll have plenty of fuel left by the time you get your left shift back. There you go. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's easy enough to do now when you're not, firing rockets and trying to evade stuff and it's all madness and chaos. So it's not as easy to do this in actual matches, but this is just a great way to keep yourself in the air. Because obviously, as far as you want to be in the air as much as possible. Okay, yeah, you keep practicing that. I'm going to go back and switch to a hit scan. Not a great hit scan, but I'm just going to practice a good way for you to actually try and counter Widowmakers, Annas, and Ashes, that kind of thing. Because Phara is actually really not that complicated. Once you got down the flying, the main thing is obviously rocket aim. And besides just saying, hey, make sure you hit your rockets, I can't coach you too much on that. It is just kind of getting a feel for predicting your rockets. You have to kind of shoot ahead of where they're going to be, especially if you're long range, because the further away you are, the safer you are, obviously, but the less likely you are to hit strong rockets. So what I'm going to teach you next is a good maneuver for dealing with hits again. You've gotten down that flying pretty good, so that's great. I'm on my way over. So, what I'm going to teach you, a good way to deal with hit scans, particularly Widowmaker, I've gone Kree, but this works on any hit scan as long as you're careful, is dive bombing them, right? So obviously at this range, I have a great advantage over you, because I can just go, easy, you're in the sky. You can fire some rockets at me if you want, but for the most part, I'm going to be able to see them coming and dodge out of the way, right? That's unfortunate. It happens to us all.
Yeah.
I am a crap Kree though. But yeah, that's what it'll be like at mid range. It's kind of difficult. If you can get some good rockets in, it's possible to win at mid range. But what I'm going to teach you here is dive bombing. So I want you to carry on flying. Come up to around where we were fighting. I'm going to be kind of around here, back by the statue. So dive bombing is essentially where you come from a location where either the hit screen isn't shooting at you or they're not noticing you. That's when it's best. So maybe I'm fighting someone over there to the left. What you need to do is essentially use your left shift and your E to absolutely speed yourself over until you're point blank range at me. So you can do it from the ground, you can do it from the sky. But the idea is you rapidly close the gap and then hit 2 direct hit rockets. Because obviously at close range, hitting those rockets is a lot easier. So when you get your E back, you can land if you want, it's up to you. Just E towards me and hit me with some direct rockets as quickly as you can. Firing the E at the ground is the best way to do it.
Again?
So yeah, so just basically you use your E to get around, right? Not just to bounce off other people. So if you fire it at the ground, you will go flying forward, because obviously that's how concussive blast works. Ah, that's actually a good point. So this is the weird thing, right? Concussive blast only pushes you horizontally. It doesn't do vertical movement. It's weird like that. There you go. That's what you're looking for. You have to make sure you're looking down as far as your cursor will allow you, and then press E. Otherwise, it'll just try and bounce you up and fail. But you can use that as a really quick kind of dash forward almost. So try and do that and then hit me with rockets once you've done it. So use your E on the ground and then hit me with some direct rockets. Yeah, perfect. And that's what we call a dive bomb. So if you could actually switch to Widowmaker for me, I'm going to go Phara and demonstrate it the other way around. That's the idea. You can do it while flying. So you kind of want to look full of rooftops and kind of statues to use while you're flying, because you can bounce yourself off any surface really. But yeah, the idea is you can use it to propel yourself forward or to push enemies back. That's kind of the main way. But yeah, I'm going to try and dive bomb you. You can kind of shoot at me as normal. Don't need to So imagine it's a proper duel is what I'm trying to say. You might kill me straight away, in which case, fair enough. But I would like to... So yeah, feel free to aim at me and take some shots. See, that's what I mean by dive bombing, right? You don't really have much time to react. It works much better on Widow than McCree, because obviously Kree can flash you, so that's something to keep in mind. But Widowmaker, McCree, Soldier, Ash hates it as well. You just kind of take corners, burst yourself forward, and then once you're at point blank range, just hit those direct rockets to really try and land the shots. We'll try that again. I will go a little bit further away this time and see if you can react to it. Especially if you're playing Widow or Ash or anything, trying to hit those headshots at close range is rather difficult. So I'm going to make it a bit more obvious as to where I am beforehand.
And I can do this whatever you want?
Yep, shoot whenever you want. But I'm going to try and dive bomb you. I see, I kind of fucked that up a little bit by using left shift, because you don't actually get the height, but there you go, that's the idea. Come back to Phara then, and I'll teach you another trick or two. There isn't too much with Phara, but honestly, you've got, so far, you've got the infinite flying, you've got dive bombing. Let's see. Let's talk about Barrage, actually. Barrage is interesting. So, Barrage is kind of notorious for being the kind of wall in which you die in really easily, and that is the case, but you're really looking to get as much damage in as possible before dying. So hold on a second. All right, let's charge a couple of rockets off each other. Hit me with some rockets just for free, trying to get you all up a little bit. I'll go heal. Yep, nice. That's fine. I'm gonna try and boost the recharge rate a little bit actually, so we can do all this a little quicker. But while I'm talking, so the further away you are, the safer you are, and that applies to all heroes, but especially Phara. So if you barrage from really high in the sky, you're less likely to die, obviously, unless it's a Widowmaker. But you're not going to kill as quickly. So really, what you want to use Barrage as, unless you're comboing it with your teammates, like a Graviton Surge, you want to use it as an ambush ult. It's the kind of ult where you need to sneak, wait for the right position, wait for the right time, and then attack them when nobody knows it's coming. The best barrages are ones that surprise people. If you're kind of floating towards them, you stop firing, and it's incredibly obvious you're going to barrage, people are going to shoot you out of the sky in seconds. It's very easy to kill you. So we go General Hero roster. Let's just boost up ultimate.
Okay.
There we go. Spawn with ultimate ready. Okay, I'm going to restart the map then so I can put these changes in.
I'm using brush with E every time, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah, that's a great way. So if you want to combine barrage with the dive bombing we were talking about, that's a fantastic way to kind of get in position. It is all about surprising, but you can also just kind of find a nice position, like on a rooftop, and wait for a barrage. So I'll come and demonstrate. Come to the point, first point. I'll show you kind of a good spot to kind of consider. So let's say that I'm defending and the enemy team have taken the point. Obviously it's a good, like, you know, I think that my teammates can help me. I'm not just going in solo, but come around here, I'll show you what I mean.
From behind?
From behind. So it's actually a really sneaky route just specifically on this map. But if I'm using this, right, I can go in here and then kind of just sit on this area as much as I can. Wait for it, use my boosters. Try not to go too high, but just kind of feathering it. And then, as soon as I'm ready, I just go like this.
Justice reigns from above.
Right? Sneaky barrage over the rooftop. Two things with barrage. First of all, if you're trying to be sneaky, you're actually completely silent while falling. So the best thing is if you're already in a high place, don't use your boosters, don't use your space if you can. Just falling down like this, completely silent. They won't hear you until dead. Right? So that's a great way to sneak on it. Remember, you are completely silent while falling, but the moment you do this, or this, especially that, you're very loud. The other thing is Phara's ultimate is one of those ultimates that actually reloads your weapon when you use it, so that's just a nice thing to know in general. But for absolute free damage, right? Absolute free damage, before you barrage, fire a rocket, then instantly barrage, okay? And you will animation cancel the firing of the rocket, and you'll get a free rocket in. So, like this. It's only one rocket difference.
Additional damage, yeah.
It's additional damage, exactly. And barrage is all about killing people quicker than they can react and kill you. So that additional rocket of damage will make a huge difference. So come over here, take the same route I did. I'm going to pretend to be an unaware enemy on the ground. Come in, use the sneaky barrage, and also try and get in the earliest rocket in for an opening attack as well. Not bad, not bad. See if you can chain that first rocket with the barrage again quicker. Let me look from the perspective.
Yeah, but when I'm barraging, I'm trying to kill subs at first, I guess, maybe tanks, so the enemy can kill me faster.
Yeah, you definitely want to aim for the DPS first. Yeah, because the first one to kill you, but
only if they have some hit scans.
Yes, hit scans obviously first priority. We don't make a create anything like that. Anyone who can stun you, so Hog is actually quite good as well, although he's quite chunky. So be careful with your E, because you actually knocked me away from your barrage initially. So if you're going to use your E on yourself, you need to kind of like that. If you use E before you barrage, you'll knock people away from you. You want them to be as clustered up as possible. So E's actually really good for knocking Reinhardts around, that kind of thing. But yeah, you use your E in. Can I come in? I could just slide off the roof and then have a look at the kill cam on that one and see how real quick the first rocket comes in between the barrage. Like, it's instant. Because if you let it have the delay, then that is a warning sign. You've obviously announced your presence, but it needs to be left click Q, like really that quick, in order to make the most out of the kind of spam. So just practice it like on a wall or something. Just try go left click Q as quick as you can.
Okay.
Just practice the shot. Yeah, that's it. That was perfect. And even if you want to go take it a step further, in case there's like someone on 10 HP left alive after all of that, if you hold the left click during your roll, another one will come out straight after, like this.
Justice reigns from above.
That second rocket came out instantly, like as soon as the game allowed. So obviously that one doesn't get reloaded, so you're down 5 shots instead of 6. But if you're just needing an extra bit of damage towards the end of the ult, that's it. Hold left click. Tip straight out. That's a nice little tip for you.
Okay.
That's all I got for you on barrage. I guess the last tip I have is to do with using your E. So apart from using it on yourself, kind of to get around the map, which is what I use it for mostly. I think it's really, really great for that, especially since they buffed it. If you're looking to use it offensively, obviously you can boop it off maps. So Lijiang Gardens, the one with the outside and the bridges, that's a great map if you boop the bridge as the enemies are approaching. You can get some good kills off that. Aside from that, you want to use it to split up enemies, right? So let's say, that's kind of difficult for me to use just by myself. Let's say where I'm firing this rocket is a Reinhardt, right? There's a Reinhardt there. And let's say the rest of his team are kind of here, right? So the Reinhardt's advancing, his teammates are behind. If you aim here, right in the middle of the Reinhardt, boop, Reinhardt gets pushed forward into your enemy team where he can be isolated. Enemies get pushed back away to where they can't protect him, right? Splitting up the enemies is a great way to do that. And then the Reinhardt's over here, you could just, oh, bully the Reinhardt, you're dead, Reinhardt. And then, you know, you've just now taken on the main tank. So splitting up the enemy team, particularly the main tank from the rest of the team, is a great way to use E offensively.
Okay, I get it.
There we go. And yeah, so either use it to get around the map, use it to defend. Actually, yeah, against D.Va. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go make a swap to D.Va. This will be the last thing on Phara though. So I'm not a professional coach. I've kind of just rattled off a list of tips and tricks for you in terms of each hero. So
That's
it takes a
fine.
lot. I can always revisit it with you if you want, but just to go over the things we've done today, we've got infinite flying with Phara by feathering the space bar, just bouncing nice and gently so you can go up and up and up. We have dive bombing McCree's in your way. We have good barrage use. Remember, you're silent when falling, but you're not silent when using your left shift in your space. Try and use sneaky routes over rooftops and stuff like that, dropping your enemies. We practiced using rockets before and after barrage straight away for extra damage. And key usage. The last thing we're going to practice now is defense against D.Va's. So D.Va's been nerfed a lot. She's not as strong as she used to be, but she's still a pretty good counter against you. And in scrims, if you're playing Phara and they're playing Goats, the D.Va will be on your ass. That's her job, to make sure you can't get 3 damage on the rest of them. Because in Goats, D.Va's the only one who can really contest you unless there's enemy Zens like J. Jonek or something. So the main thing with D.Va is most D.Vas will kind of just fly in the air for a sec. We'll do kind of these bombing runs, right? So yeah, come up in the air, do some jutsu. So that's just to demonstrate. So they'll fly up towards you and do this, and get as much free damage in as you can. That's exactly how you want to be reacting. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. E is a great tool for getting both the D.Va away from you and you away from the D.Va. The thing to watch for is defense matrix. Obviously, since they've nerfed her, now her defense matrix has a pretty hefty cooldown. That's as quickly as I can defense matrix in between bursts, right? So, yeah, it's not really much that you need to practice, just something to keep in mind, but you clearly get it already. If a D.Va's flying towards you and she's using rockets, shooting, just boot her away with an E and get her away from you. Just be careful of defense matrix usage. That's obviously the biggest thing.
Okay.
And also, some D.Vas will try and bomb you. So go up as high as you can, just get some altitude with Phara,
Wait a second.
and I'll throw a bomb at you. That's it, just hold it in there. So they'll just do this. You try and evade it, find cover. Nice, pretty good. I'll keep throwing a couple more at you, you keep getting ready to evade them.
I'll show them.
Go up, keep flying. Try and fly infinitely using the technique we talked about.
Nerf this.
Good.
Nerf this.
Oof, that was unfortunate,
Yeah.
but close. We'll do a couple.
Because I
Make sure you...
didn't know how far it will be. No, I don't know skyboxes at all.
Yeah, skyboxes are nothing to kind of... Like, a lot of the tips with Phara, you kind of just get by playing Phara. So that's honestly the best tip I can give you for Phara. Like, what I've given you is all the secret techniques and tricks and everything that I have, but for the most part, it's getting used to how our rockets feel and getting used to skyboxes. So, for example, Busan has some really small skyboxes. The one with the drum as the central point, that's a tiny ass skybox. So there's actually some maps where it's very difficult to play Phara because you can't even go that high. Blizzard World, where's the skybox like? It's pretty acceptable. I mean, this is one of the better maps to play Phara on because you have a good sightline coming in. You just have to be careful with Widowmakers. But if you have experience as Widowmaker, that helps when you're playing Phara. You know where Widow likes to set up. You know what kind of sightlines she likes to take.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Try and approach using cover, and then once you're close enough, use your E to dive bomb her and take her out. If you take out the Widow, you've got free reign, basically, as long as no one else. So that's pretty much it. I've got a little bit of time. We'll practice the last aspect.
And maybe barrage away against D.Va when she's
why not?
using magics.
Yes. Let's go and hit me with the barrage then, using your extra damage, and then we'll just see how long we can go through it.
Justice reigns from above.
There you go. I'm going to switch to Phara. You go find yourself a health pack. The last thing we'll practice is just a practice thing, which is in-air duels with other Phara, because that's pretty difficult. But if you can win those duels consistently, then you'll have a pretty good time of it. guess when it comes to aiming rockets...
Dive bomb is something new for me.
Yeah, there you go then. Aiming rockets, for me, it's all about flick shots, but, you know, it's all personal preference.
Yeah, I know. I played Quake before.
There you go then. That you feel pretty at home with it then. Alright, let's have a go then. Let's just fire some rockets at each other. See how it goes. So it is all about prediction. Not bad, not bad. I think the difficult for me personally with Phara is changing the rate of prediction depending on height, or distance, sorry. Because you can be dueling at some really odd distances, like Phara from spawn is definitely a thing that can happen. There you go, it's a little predictive rocket for you. But like at this range, it's so difficult to predict where the rockets are going to actually hit. You have to make some drastic adjustments. But then you come up close and it's basically a hit scan reaper kind of reaction, so it is interesting. You can try and dive bomb an enemy Phara. It's not as effective though, because obviously she can move upwards. But like that's a pretty good way to get the last shot in if you're just desperately trying to finish it off, so it's a bit of a ballsy move, but it is possible. If you're dueling an enemy Phara in the...
It depends on your team, I guess.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. The duel becomes obviously a lot harder for both of you because you have to land the 2 shots in a row, otherwise most people just heal off the damage. But yeah, it is at the end of the day just down to practice. And, it's just something that's worth. If you have time, maybe with Vanta, who plays, I think she plays Projectile in the team, doesn't she? Yeah, if you have time, just go into a custom match with Vanta before a scrim or something, whenever you get the chance. Hey, nice. And just practice with everyone Phara duels. It's a great way to get your rocket kind of sense up. Last thing. The only thing that can one-shot you that isn't a Widowmaker headshot or a Hanzo headshot kind of thing, just be careful if they're running Zen and they discord you, because discord plus damage boost will...
McCree can kill you one shot.
Yeah, McCree can one-shot you, Hanzo can one-shot you even without a headshot. So if they're really focusing on you and you're being a pain in the ass, you'll either have to swap or just be really careful how you play it. But that's all I got for Phara. I've got to practice for some null games tonight and do some stuff, but I'm pretty open and free, and either later today or maybe tomorrow or something we can go over some of the other heroes who have a bit more like complicated things to learn with it. But yeah, all right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. I'm glad to have helped. Hopefully it's useful. I know it was a lot of information just kind of thrown at you in one go, but
it's really useful. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Good luck. See you around then.
Good luck. See you soon.